Billy and John and all this stuff being weird.
John's lost weight. And Billy has gotten younger. What's going on?
This is before you leave.
Huh?
This is before you leave. This is a few minutes later, basically. When you're getting your food handed to you, this is when he's asking, just for time comparison.
Okay. Well, I'm going to confirm that it's not the same John. That, I don't think it's the same person that we saw a couple of days ago. And yeah, I'm convinced that the baby is John. Is that baby that that I saw in that house?
Me and Billy.
So, oh shit, yeah, Billy. John is the tavern keeper.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I'm just gonna, like I say, I'm gonna finish my drink, pocket my food, and I'm just gonna slide out the tavern.
Cool.
And start skulking around.
And are you trying to like just leave, or are you suggesting Adrian should follow? Like, is there just Adrian sitting at the table, there's like get up and leave?
No, I'm just gonna do it when he's not looking.
Okay, fair enough.
Like he'll turn around to talk to the barman or something, and I'm just gonna slide out and go and.
So, as you're walking around the town, checking out like the merchants' quarters, just gonna get the names of all the other places that are here. At the merchants' quarter, you check out the temple area. Some buildings that you remember just don't seem to be there, but yeah, you're just like, huh? And then some buildings are different. They got different names. They got different merchants in them. Definitely.
Well, I'm gonna notice all of the differences because I spent 2 weeks before these two turned up, taking in all the stuff in the town. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Anything that's different is going to be really obvious.
Yeah, so especially because you were like looking at scores and stuff like that and things you could take and not, but everything is in the same rough areas as before. So if there was like the food area or the market for like fresh veg was in X area, that was there. The place where the fish were being sold off was there. But you do notice that there's a lot of like bunting being put up by people. There's like some people are making like nicer storefronts. Some people are polishing their windows or polishing all their wood on the like wherever they keep their like, I don't mean polish with like paint polish. I mean like cleaning off the wood or cleaning down things. And there's some people are making signs all about this like harvest festival. Now, there's no such thing as a harvest festival user from. This is completely new. The harvest festival kind of makes no sense, and you do notice as you're walking through the town as well, there is a few more centaurs. I've never seen a centaur in life, but there's a few centaurs. There is also a few like you don't even know what to like describe them as. There's just other. There's definitely creatures or like races of being, that's the best way to describe them, that you might not have seen before. And I'm going to, if you want to roll for me,
yeah, what am I rolling?
What would it be? Intelligence or wisdom? You can pick. I don't care. Of like, if you know what races these might be. If you're trained in history, I don't believe you are though.
No.
Yeah, so then
I rolled a 7.
So you definitely think there is some.
Let me just double check my stats. Hold on. This thing takes forever. I hate these interactive PDFs.
Like, there's this cat-like creature.
Okay.
There is. I don't really know how to describe this, but you notice someone with like
so what were we using to what we're using to look at this?
I'm just telling you.
Oh, okay. No, I had to roll a dice, so I didn't know what. Oh,
you said wisdom 7. Now, if you had like a higher roll, I'd tell you the name of the race, so you'd have a better actual mental understanding of what this is.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm asking. Is it insight or investigation? What we're doing?
I just said intelligence or wisdom, and you picked, and you said you rolled a 7. So you could pick intelligence or wisdom because you're not trained in history.
Well, yeah, well, we'll pick intelligence then because that's +4.
Okay, so that's 11. Yeah. So like, there's some like cat-like, but they're like human. like shape, e.g., 2 arms, legs, torso, standing like human thing. But there's like cat-like creatures, with like lion heads. They're just like people walking like this is just a normal thing. There's this other type of like being that has like, because you're a gnome, you can kind of say they don't have like human feet. They have like goat-ish feet, but like.
So they got. Okay, these aren't the
like,
people with the cat heads.
No, these are no. The cat heads are like they just have like paws for feet.
So they're the Leonin.
Yeah,
and
technically,
these
yeah.
guys are Satyr?
Yeah, technically, but your gnome wouldn't know that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And there's like you see like, but there just seems to be like, and as you're thinking, it's like you've heard you like you half think you might have heard of these creatures before, but you don't really know what they could be. But there's less humans than there's like humans aren't the minority like they would have been before. It's very like 50-50 of like everything, you get me? There's like it's a good mix of all these different races. And everyone just seems to be excited about the harvest. If you're trying to figure out more information about the harvest, I can tell you stuff about the harvest. The harvest festival.
Tell me about the harvest.
It is the festival for, because it's coming into spring. It is the festival for. Where is? Oh, I have the book open. I'm an idiot. I was like, where's the book that I have? It is the festival for. Actually, it's on my phone, this note. I'm going to spell out the name as well because I can't pronounce it properly. It is the festival for the god of harvest, Karmater, KaorAmetora. I can type that into you if you want, but I can't actually read the damn thing.
That's fine. It's the green and white god from. Yeah, that's fine. I understand.
And it's basically like everyone's like excited because like, you know, spring's coming and this is their great thing, and how some people are running like music events in like different taverns and such and such is playing in such a place, and like, oh, I can't wait, this is my favorite time of year, I can't wait for it to get warmer, you know, it's been such a harsh winter, like the seas have been crazy. Some people talk about how it's their favorite god of all the gods, and they're very excited for the festival, and it seems to be like that's the vibe. Everyone's like they just can't wait for the festival, and they hope they're like some people are like they're going to sacrifice to the god because that's what they do in their family, and some people do that. You've got some priests going around asking people for donations to the festival and all that stuff, the usual stuff priests do, you know, profit off the poor. But yeah, like everyone, like the festival is like what everyone's looking for. They're excited. They can't wait. If you want to know about any particular plans that people have, or like any big events that aren't.
Tell me as much information. Yeah, tell me everything that I can glean.
Okay. Wow. Roll for this. Okay, you're lucky. Basically, there seems to be this big thing from a lot of the townsfolk that they have this like ritual sort of thing where they all have like, it's not a mass, but they have like someone comes up and speaks about how to the god, and they worship the god for a while, and then they go off to like the forest, and they have an opening in the forest. They like lay wreaths of flowers and daisies and any plants that have already bloomed already so far, and they like make wreaths and they place them down, and they have like a sing song, and they have this beautiful fire thing, and some people leave out presents for the fairies, and they hope that the fairies will come. They came last year, and some people saw a glimpse, other people didn't, and they were very like, fairies are like the coolest mythical creatures to some people. They're like the being everyone wants to see, but only some people have, and how they want to like, they leave them out presents and all this, and they can't wait for this like bonfire. It's not really a bonfire because it's in the forest, but like this like beautiful display of I don't know how to describe it because I was in scouts for years, but like, you know when someone like pokes a fire and all the little like wisps of embers come out?
Yeah.
They basically talk about how this like, so one of the people last year did this show where they were able to manipulate those to like to make a little like scene of like puppets dancing around, and the stories from the, and they start naming these religious stories. Are you changing religion? Don't believe you are. Believe the other two are.
No, +4, but
yeah. So basically, they talk about like these religious stories. Oh, he did like the equivalent of like Jesus turning the wine or water into wine, and they in the puppet show with the embers of the fire, and then how they talked about this like dispute between the gods, and they did it with this bit of the show, and it's just this magical event, and everyone was drinking, and then you hear some other people talking about how they got laid because they get laid at this festival. It's a big orgy to some people, but like they're all talking about this amazing festival and how magical and how powerful it felt, and how they felt the warmth of the god and stuff like this, and how they wish they could give more to this god because clearly he's the most just of all the gods, and all this. But yeah, so a lot of people talking about this festival. I presume you're not communicating people, you're just going around trying to gather information.
Yeah, I'm not talking to anyone, I'm just taking it.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people talking about this festival, and the big event people are talking about is the event in the forest, and how they hope they can find the right one. Lots of groups go out, but there's one main one, and people try and figure out which one that's going to be this year, but they don't tell people because they don't want everyone to go to the one event, and it's a lot of secrecy. So like, you pay such and such to get the information from such and such, and a lot of that sort of stuff. People are saying such and such because they don't know Thieves' Cant. You do hear the odd one or two people with Thieves' Cant naming the name of, let me grab my name generator, because he throws the best dues, basically. Is the Thiefling monk or cleric? No, cleric. Sorry, yeah, clerics and monks are different things. Cleric called. Why isn't the name coming up? We're gonna grab this one because I can't find the letter T. Beel, B-E-L. You want to take that down? You can.
Okay.
And now he grows he's the one who organized it last year, and they're trying to find him again. And maybe this year we'll catch the fairies in the act, because some people are like, it's worth a lot of money, the fairies. And people are trying to like, some of the from the Thieves' Cant, you can hear it, that they're like, we need to find Veal. He has the in with the fairies. He can grab the fairies for us and stuff like that. But it's just, a lot of people are just like excited. There's a lot of planning for this harvest festival, and everyone wants to get to the harvest festival.
Okay.
But yeah. Does the Adran, you're sitting around the table for 5 or so minutes, and you realize the gnome isn't coming back. You might have thought he went to the toilet or something like that. You think he's not coming back. Do you do anything? Do you sit around the inn? Do you scratch your head? You left the rabbits with the dwarf and the squirrel, believing that the squirrel was going to protect the rabbits. You're on mute. Okay.
Hello?
We'll see where Vulcan is later. Sola.
Yep.
What are you doing? What's your plan?
I don't know. Probably trying to figure out what my next big construction thing should be. If I am to return to those at some point.
You got time.
I got time, true. But yeah, I kind of think it's time for me to figure out where the hell I am.
Or when.
When the hell you are.
when is probably the more correct way of putting it. Yeah. So I think I'll try and walk into the slippery nipple.
Yeah, as you're walking down, you also notice that some of the docks here are being repaired, which from the few days you've been here, they definitely need to be repaired before. There's work being done to the docks in areas in which you thought doesn't make a lot of sense. You do also notice the eclectic mix of races. You haven't seen, as you walk into Slippery Nipple Inn, anything like a centaur. So just you haven't seen one of them yet. And when you walk into the inn, though, as well, you notice that the trophies aren't on the wall.
Can you please name all the things I haven't seen, like a centaur, a minotaur?
No, there's no minotaurs yet. No minotaurs. But you
no, exactly.
But you do notice that like all the trophies from before, the centaur, the minotaur, the human head marked as centaur, I'd like to point out, the other like trophies, and some of the decor is different, and John is definitely a different person. Whoever the hell is behind the bar is not John. You do see a table of people eating breakfast, well, just getting done with breakfast. There's the odd dwarf. I say the odd dwarf. There's two dwarfs sitting at a different table. You don't know who they are, but there's some dwarfs sitting at a table. It's early in the morning. People are having breakfast. Yeah. I don't know if Adril's still there because he's AFK.
He just moved his camera, so I think he is. Something moved his camera at least.
Oh shit! I've been muted for quite some time.
I literally said it to you.
All right, let's give him a go.
Okay, we will pause for one second. Yeah, so you've noticed after 5 minutes the gnome left? He's not in the toilet.
My answer to that was I'll sit here and wait for him to come back.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So about 30 minutes passes, longer. About 40 minutes passes. It's still early in the morning, and the dwarf Ibris walks into the building. Ibris, we don't need to skip anything then. So you are exactly where I said you were.
I mean,
you notice all the differences.
I take it I notice the differences, and I take it I note our pirate sitting at the bar too.
He's sitting at a table in the corner.
Well, at a table, yeah, true. But I think I'll just walk up to the bar and try and get a conversation with the keeper.
Yeah, what you walk up, he's like, "Hello there, sir."
Oh, hi. Yes. Can I get your name?
And John is my name. What is yours? I never forget a face, so if I forget your name, it's a free drink on me.
That's good. My name is Gimli.
Gimli. He's like, looks at you, and he's like, Gimli, and he's like, yep, got it. Perfect. Gimli, how may I help you today?
You probably can't help me, but I would like to ask you, are you religious of any sort?
How do you mean? Like, I worship the gods as like anyone else.
Are there some gods you worship more than others?
Well, of course I don't worship the god of... Give me 1 second to grab the name of them. It's on Discord. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you which ones he doesn't worship. Well, of course I don't really worship the... it's Phoenix, Phenax.
Phoenix, yeah.
Because that's the god of deception. It's like, well, I don't like to be deceived. I like to know everything and everyone who comes into my tavern. But when it comes to the rest of them, I try my best to worship them all and give them all the same praise because the gods have been great. Sometimes
a good man you are,
they are just and true, and well, especially this week when it comes to one of the best gods in my opinion, but I still love him as much as the others. We have what is the name? I had it up a second ago. It's Kalmeter, Kaor Ametora, which is the god of harvest. You know this from your history. You know he's a very neutral god. He doesn't seem to get into very debacles.
He was a god of what?
No, this is a god of harvest.
Harvest, yeah. Okay.
You're trained in history and religion, or just history?
History and religion.
Both. Okay, so you also know that there was a story of him in written down somewhere that basically he was. Let's double check my notes. He basically he was in a dispute once, but him and the god of him and where's it called?
What's he the god of?
Yeah, he's the god of harvest, but why can't I find
No, the one he were in dispute with.
That's what I'm trying to double check. But basically they were in a dispute for a long time, and they realized that they had to put their differences aside to stop a much bigger threat, which was the two gods of war, or victory and honor, the two from the long war. They put down their dispute.
Yeah,
they put down their dispute to help resolve a conflict with them two, because they don't believe in interfering in human lives. They believe in he believes in that, like, he needs to help people with their destiny and stuff like that as well. Like, so he's not like, there's a god of destiny, but he worked with him. I'm reading the slightly wrong one. Yeah, so he worked with the god of destiny. They had a dispute that was getting in the way of people, and they didn't want to. They put down their differences basically to stop a much bigger threat to humankind, and I say human as people who live on the world of Theros, because they were just in the way, and they decided that, like, they were just taking too much control, and people needed to be in charge of their own destiny, and basically, you know, a lot of like stories like that, like he's been a just god basically from the history, but he's not worshipped in the time you know of, or whatever the hell has happened, but he's never been he's not. They're not worshipped anymore. Like, none of these gods are worshipped anymore. But this guy seems to be mentioning a lot of those Greek gods from the past, from well before the war. He talks about the harvest festival, who is the start of spring. Everyone in the past, way before the war, like 50, 60 years before the war, used to every year have like a spring festival where there was campfires, sing songs, like some sacrifice, but it was sacrifice of like nature goods, so like seeds or leaves or displays to him and stuff like that. But yeah, he talks about that when you're asking him, just so you know for yourself. You can continue your conversation with him if you want.
All right, sweet. Okay, I just need to figure out where I am. Yes.
You're in the slippery nipple. So, you've asked him, does he worship God?
Exactly. So, John, mind if I ask you, if any of the guys were to do you a favor, what would be the one thing that they could do for you? What is it that you really like need or want currently?
He starts stroking his chin, and he's like, what could they do for me? Well, I have my inn. I haven't got my woman yet, but food, maybe more like helping me help those who need, like, so as you can tell, I run a fine establishment here, and
indeed
around,
you do.
It looks clean. It's a decent place. From what you remember of this, it was always a good place. But he basically talks about how, like, it'd be really nice if it could, like, he could have more meat and food for people. E.g., like, right now it's not that he's struggling to get food, it's expensive, and he would like to make that slightly cheaper so he could help feed more people and have this more, just not have to go, hey, it's X amount. He could go, it's half that price. Basically,
a noble gesture. Yeah, okay. I might be able to help you with that. It will take some time, but with time there might be a better source of food on this island.
Oh, I hope. Now, it better not be fish. I can't cook fish, I tell you that. Last time I cooked fish, I was sick for a week. Oh, well,
can you not learn to cook fish?
Oh, I don't. Like, after the last time, I'll leave it to the people who know how. I was on the toilet for a week. Oh, the smells that came out of that place. I wanted to burn it down.
But my dear keeper, if we all keep it to those who knows how to do it, how will any of us learn to do something new?
True. But there are some. We have lots. Fish be plenty here on this island. On the island,
and that is why you should learn how to cook it.
But
Is it not?
but if I can provide a slightly different avenue for people, people will come to me for not just fish. They will come to me for a good place to stay, good music, good friends, and for my pot of plenty, which right now just has lots of beans and stuff. Like, well, really just beans stew, but pot of plenty.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think there's much I can get out of him. In terms of, yeah. I mean, like setting up something would just take a lot of time, and giving him like 12 rabbits wouldn't really help him in the long run.
What's he gonna do with rabbits? He owns an inn.
Well, he would like a better source of food, so he could at least get 12 rabbits and then cook them. It isn't fish, so
True.
Right.
But you haven't got 12 rabbits to give him. You haven't got 12 rabbits to give him.
Well, we do.
Well,
You're
but
not
they're
with
back
each
at
other.
No, but they're back at the other place, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all left out in the fields by themselves. I am going to, because I realise all three of you are a bit stumped right now. I'm going to say we take a quick, like, 3-minute break so I can go to the toilet.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to Adril first, or Adran. I keep calling Adril. Adran first, to see what you do. I presume that Ebros as well. After you talk to him for a while, you go to the table and you sit with him.
Sure.
To basically get all the information from him. Whether or not he mentions the centaur, you can tell me. Centaurs are very odd. They've never been seen in this world for a long time that you know of. Okay, so lads, you are all at a table in